Hi, astrology friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com. Thank you for joining me on this pretty gray Saturday, at least here in the Pacific Northwest. And I want to speak about the interesting topic. And we're not going to go political, don't worry, because I've seen how people can get, they can start hating each other and fighting over. But I want to speak about the personalities and of those two first ladies, Ivanka and Melania Trump, because all the focus has been on Donald Trump. Now let's see the women behind him. And I want to show you so easy how astrology is so correct. And it can show you the personality and the destiny of someone so easily, even though we don't have the exact time, neither of Melania nor of Ivanka, their birth times, but we know the position of the planets when they were born. So we're going to do like analysis of the elements and certain positions that stay the same, that don't change according to the time of birth. And you're going to see we're going to see some secrets about these ladies and unveil their personalities. And I'm going to try not to make it political, guys. I'm going to try to be as neutral as possible. It's hard to be neutral, but but I really like them, both of them, to be honest, at least physically. Who doesn't? And I'm going to show you the chart, how easy it can be, And we're going to even see why he was drawn to Melania and why he has such a great friendship with his daughter as well, Donald Trump, with some very easy astrology tips. So if you're trying to learn astrology to understand it, or if you're just curious about those two women, are they really tormented? Like they say Melania is tormented, so she's a prisoner. Or are they like puppets that are being, told what to do and smile on cue? Or are they just following their personality traits and their core values and their core energies within themselves? So let's first start. I'm going to share first the chart of, and I'm not going to keep your time a lot. I'm not going to take a lot of your time. Just a second. Where is it? I try to do it as quickly as possible because it's Saturday and people want to have their free time. But also astrology for me, it's hobby and it's fun. So that's the best time to spend on Saturday. Okay, let's look at Ivanka Trump. Where are you guys? I can't see. Okay. Share. Okay. I hope you see now. Probably you see the chart. I don't see your comments, guys. I find it so hard to find those comments, but I will try and speak a little bit first and then read comments and comment because I get distracted otherwise. And if you look at the chart of Ivanka Trump, you'd see the first thing is let's see what the father is like, because the sun symbolizes the father and Saturn symbolizes father as well in ancient astrology. Both Saturn is an authority figure and the sun is an authority figure as well. Both planets can indicate personality of the father. Thank you, Lauren. Lauren sent me the comments. Perfect. And we see that Ivanka's sun is in Scorpio, and actually it's quite typical for people that are Scorpio suns to have fathers that are quite powerful. Fathers, not necessarily rich in our cases, but like in the case of her, he's rich, but fathers that are dominating, that have very strong personality, very Scorpio, martial personality. Scorpio is ruled by Mars, that have sometimes even downright despotic personalities, and sometimes more on the manipulative side. It depends how the sun is configured. But is this affecting her negatively? Well, look at that. The sun of Ivanka doesn't have a single negative aspect. Usually someone, if you have, of course, Scorpio is quite despotic and powerful, but you need to have like the sun afflicted to have had really bad experiences with your father figure, like the sun aspected by Saturn, or with the more aggressive planets like Aries or Rahu or Ketu or Neptune or Pluto, something to create some issue. But we see the sun has no negative aspects, and we see it actually has one supportive aspect from Mars here, a sextile. So if anything, her relationship with the father, even though he's powerful, he's controlling, which is very Scorpio, this just increased her ambition, because Mars is our ambition, how we chase our desires, our drive. So possibly very even competitive, but in a smooth way, relationship competitive with the father, that increased her own martial pursuits, which is drive, ambition, but in a good harmonious way, not in a despotic way, him imposing it. Somehow she soaked it up in a natural harmonious way, because we see a harmonious aspect between the Sun and Mars. And actually this helps her as an example. However, Trump has also helped her relationships with other men later in life. But he has empowered her, because even though the Sun is the father in your horoscope, the Sun also represents how you express confidence and how you express your own inner power and vitality. And look at that, in this case, instead of having sometimes, a very dominating parent who can have a very negative effect on the child, but in her case, it's given her inner strength and more ambition and empowered her. And also Saturn represents the father. And looking at Saturn as another authority figure is very close to her Mercury. Mercury is communication. So I would say that she learned how to be quiet and to respect, because communications is when you want to speak out, but Saturn is some authority figure that was there, and you have to respect that authority figure because it was powerful. Saturn is extremely powerful in Libra, in its sign of exaltation, which means that she actually really respected the authority of that person and should zip it and be quiet and listen, which is what Saturn people with Mercury Saturn conjunction tend to do. But because Saturn is not in a bad sign, she'll do it out of respect, because Libra is respect for another person, out of respect for the elder, respect for the authority. But she has measured words. Someone with Mercury Saturn knows how to measure their communication, knows how not to say stupid things. But look what the ancient books say here. I have a translation, Vitas Balenis and Hepsopetrosis, which are Egyptian astrologers, and Vitas Balenis was Hellenic astrology, and it says the conjunction of Mercury with Saturn, and I'm translating from Bulgarian, so it might sound a bit bad, but means that this conjunction leads to a lot of scandal or calumny. Calumny is when someone speaks about bad things and stuff and puts you in bad situation because of secret things. Anyone who has Mercury conjunct Saturn, they would probably have noticed in their life. And by the way, Melania Trump also has Mercury conjunct Saturn. You'll see after that how these women have learned to be more quiet when it comes to respecting authority, to measure their words, to be careful what they say. It gives very deep thought and measured talking, but it leads to a lot of calumny or kind of evil gossip about a person who has Mercury with Saturn in their horoscope conjunction, because of secretive things they say, and leads to a lot of struggles in communications, and because of some business or something written about them, gives a lot of problems because of something written or some business transactions. And you can see Ivanka Trump is getting a lot of attacks on the media because of her business. She's mixing business with politics as well. It says here, word by word, 2,000 years ago, because of business transactions or because of something written, it can give big problems to those people. Or what they say. Even Melania Trump, just quickly switching to the chart of Melania, look, she has Mercury conjunct Saturn, the same combinations. Obviously, Trump likes his women to be measured in their speaking, to be careful what they say. Obviously, there is some powerful authority figure, for Melania in particular even more, because the two authority planets, Sun and Saturn, two authority boss figures are on her Mercury communication. So she's very measured what she's saying. But because of things she says or because of things she writes, she can have a big fall and a big suffering or bad things happening in her speech. My God, come on. when she copied somehow, I bet it was some kind of joke someone played on her for the speech, but what she said, and people like that are being very strongly judged on what they say. And by the way, if you look at the chart of Donald Trump, he has Saturn conjunct Mercury, not quite far apart, more than 15, 16 degrees, but he has the same combination. So such a person would suffer from Mercury, would suffer from what they speak and what they say, from gossip, from secretive things, would suffer, like they say, it leads to calumny, it leads to fall, or to, to big scandals because of secretive things, like he's not releasing his stuff, and the things that because of business transaction can lead to fall, to lead, he had a few there, as we know, business fall downs. He's still very successful, but it manifested in his life, because of business transaction to have problems, because of something written as well. This is what it says. But it says here, those people are neither stupid nor unsuccessful. So they can have success in life. Look how the three of them have Saturn conjunct Mercury. Saturn conjunct Mercury. And by the way, Mercury is the press. And kind of Saturn conjunct Mercury. Obviously, that's why he hates the press. And Saturn is conjunct Venus. Women hate him, in respect many women, because Venus represents women as general, and Saturn is resentment and bad things happening to you because of women. And Mercury is the press, and you see how whatever planet Saturn is this with can bring a lot of difficulties from those areas of our life. And his chart, Mercury is the media, and what he says puts him into trouble as well. But we have here Melania Trump with this. She should be careful what she says. It can put her into trouble with big scandals, what she writes, what business deals. Ivanka does the same. But Saturn conjunct Mercury teaches you to be cautious, to be measured what you say, because you suffer from your words, because it doesn't get unnoticed or unpunished. Saturn is like the scrutinizing teacher, doesn't allow anything to pass by without examination and correction. If you have just Jupiter Mercury, you can be saying the most outrageous things and you're not going to suffer for it. But this lady is quite intelligent. Going back to Ivanka, she has this combination of Jupiter and Saturn together, which is known as the philosopher's combination when they're conjunct. Many people born in 1981 and 1980 had Jupiter and Saturn together in the same sign. And when with Mercury, gives her a deep thought, gives her also should be cautious with what she speaks, but should be looking to also to make social reforms, because the Jupiter and Saturn are both about social matters, and should try to do, and business savvy as well, as you can know. That Mercury with Jupiter gives strong intelligence as well, and she'll be especially interested in international matters and in matters in regards to negotiations, business deals. It's all happening here in Libra. Libra is about international, it's about negotiations, it's about business deals. But let's see, her Venus and the Moon are in Sagittarius, which indicates women. Both Venus and the Moon are the two feminine planets, which indicate women overall. So actually, Ivanka will be more liked by women. And look, her Venus is with Neptune, which is glamorized beauty. A woman's Venus indicates how women like you, how popular you are, and how you present your own femininity and your own beauty, how you present it to the world. Neptune is a very glamorous planet. And she can become like an idol to people, or like a fashion model, in the film industry, in the fashion industry. In the media industry, Neptune will glamorize, and definitely she's very glamorous. And women, Venus and the Moon, tend to like her much more than someone who has Venus with Saturn, like Trump. So maybe she can be the saving grace for Trump when it comes to women. And she has compassion. Neptune is compassion towards anything Neptune is with. And we have it with women, with Moon. And she can do something for mothers and women. If she can impact her dad, she can really help, especially also foreign women and immigrant women, because it's in Sagittarius. Or something to change in regards to the law. Sagittarius rules our law system. In regards to women, to benefit them, to be more compassionate, some kind of social help to women, social reform. As far as I remember, she was saying that she wants to give to pregnant women and nursing mothers paid. Now I think they have like 2 weeks of paid take in the States, and she wants to give them much more time and support, and she'll be able to do that. She's compassionate towards women, and women will like her. And look, it's only good aspects that is receiving. And look, like so many planets in fire and air signs, masculine signs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets. She just has her 2 masculine planets in Earth, in a feminine sign, but a woman presents much more her Venus and the moon to the public, and her personality is much more comes through her feminine planets and the sign of the feminine planets. And in Ivanka Trump's case, this is they're both in Sagittarius. Even without the time of birth, they'll both fall in Sagittarius. So a lot of masculine energy there. It doesn't mean she's masculine how she looks. She's extremely feminine, beautiful woman. But masculine is about being proactive, being initiative, taking lead, being out there in the public eye, getting things done. And that's why she is gonna be in the office, you know, she's gonna be playing the role of the first lady, because, and Sagittarius especially is a very politically minded sign, ideological sign, proactive sign. So, and Libra as well, socially active sign. So she has much more kind of drive, ambition, which is masculine energy, to present herself in the public in some way, you know, and actually there are very few difficult. Just the Saturn Mars that we said is the difficult combination, but she is a likable personality. You can see someone's personality from the moon and the sun. If they're afflicted, they can be very difficult personalities. We don't know the ascendant. Also, the ascendant shows the personality. So, but the moon is, you know, is with Venus and Neptune, two very gentle planets, likable person. The sun doesn't have bad aspects from anything. Again, she's not a, how do I say, she's not, and it's not like being a bad person that you're a bad person. When you're a bad person, is because something quite hard happened to you in childhood and you can't forget, you build walls, you're maybe, you know, build up resentment. She doesn't have that. So she doesn't have a wounded mentality and personality, so to speak. So that's, you know, she has a lighter energy that only the Scorpionic sun, but it's well aspected. And look at that. She has Jupiter conjunct the star, a fixed star. And if you've taken a Mayan Trifon Nicholas course on fixed stars, it shows you, the fixed star shows specific talents a person has. And there is a fixed star of wealth, which is called Spica, and it's at 23 degrees Libra currently. And it's a star that is Jupiter ruled. And if Jupiter happens to fall at Spica, a person can be extremely wealthy. So she was born into wealth. And another star is at 24 degrees Libra, which is the star of, let me get back to, sorry, where is it? My notes here. Leadership stars, and it's Arcturus, the star at 24 degrees Libra. It makes leadership, success, wealth, brings leadership, success, wealth. So she's a leader herself, this lady, Ivanka Trump. You know, she has the opportunity and the skills, natural skills to be a leader. And it says that someone who has an important planet, especially Jupiter, because it's a star of Jupiter nature of leadership, and she has Jupiter there on the star Arcturus. Such people are natural leaders, commanders. They achieve positions of power, independent, effective winners, possess wealth, you know, and they might love daring sports, whatever, often found in high positions or owning a business. If NATO, Jupiter, or Mars are conjunct one of those stars of leadership, it makes the star 10 times more powerful. This is a leader, lady. And this star also falls towards another group of stars, which is called the stars of nobility. They're Jupiter and Venus stars, and it's again part of those. It's Arcturus, and it says that if NATO Jupiter conjuncts any of the stars, it makes the star 10 times more powerful. And these stars make the person very noble, with aristocratic nature, good at giving advice and counseling, great souls with very good fortune in life. Well, obviously she's very fortunate in life. For certain, we know that. And yeah, so this is a powerful star that she has. I can't tell you the ascendant and the midheaven. They can also give a lot details. But if anyone can, you know, I wouldn't mind this person to be a leader, that would be her. But she should be careful. The media will be also on her case. Mercury is conjunct Saturn, but they'll be more lenient on her because Jupiter, the great benefic, is also there saving the situation. But you should be careful with business deals and written words and stuff like that. Okay, now let's look at Melania. Melania's horoscope. here we go. Now we have a different picture here. It's, look how many planets Melania has in Taurus. It's the sign of safety, security, the sign of money, the sign of wealth. So this is someone who has so much Taurus, who will be very focused on security, who will be very focused on achieving material stability, security. And I don't want you to think this is the proverbial Eastern European woman that always Eastern European women are focused on material things. Well, I'm Eastern European, but believe me, the last thing I've ever thought about is money. And but obviously Melania has a strong Taurus, and Taurus is extremely loyal sign till, and even if she feels suppressed and unhappy, she'll be there sitting loyally. Her planet of love, Venus, is in Taurus as well, extremely loyal wife. It will describe her. And Venus in Taurus makes the most beautiful women always. They have this feminine, amazingly feminine body and curves. Taurus is very curvaceous. It's like hourglass figure. And Venus in Taurus women are often so the most naturally beautiful women. She has lots of Taurus, but planets in Taurus definitely give this earthy beauty, this natural beauty, this mother nature beauty almost. And she looks like a queen to me when I see her, like a earthy mother nature. But there is a difficult planet in all those planets in Taurus. We see Saturn. And by the way, having Saturn conjunct Sun is one of the most difficult combinations in astrology. So there is something dark happening there. Yes, she's focused on stability. Yes, she would be loyal like a Taurus. Yes, she likes luxuries and good things and high class and standard and high quality for certain. This is Taurus. You know, I should, and by the way, Venus, the planet of femininity, is conjunct the star Algol, fixed star. If you've taken my fixed star webinar, you know Algol is a star of wealth, but wealth that comes with tears as well. Wealth that can come through more difficulties and more tears. And for her, Venus, the planet of marriage, is that on that Algol star, and very close to another star called the Pleiades, which is the 7 weeping sisters. You know, the Pleiades is a bunch of stars again in the sky, and they're crying for something there. They're the weeping sisters. So there is more pain here. The wealth that comes to you, both stars give wealth, but it's kind of more suffered wealth that comes there. With you know, and that comes through Venus, through the marriage. But the most important thing is the Sun conjunct Saturn. What does it mean? First of all, the Sun, remember we said, is the father. So this lady had maybe a very suppressive or oppressive father. Sometimes it might be even a missing father, but there is something there that was hard on her. That really suppressed her confidence. That was maybe a very overpowering authority figure in her life, because Saturn is suppressing and the Sun is, you know, expressing your vitality, expressing yourself naturally, spontaneously, but Saturn does not allow it, usually because of a father figure there. If there is no father figure, it's the other parent that plays it. That's very critical on the person, and she's very critical on herself later in life. But it came to her because someone was very critical, very controlling on her. And this repeats later in life, because in astrology, the Sun later repeats. The position of the Sun through the father can be replicated through the main relationships, the main partnership in one's life, like a husband. So there is suppression there, guys. She's not totally happy there because Saturn is there. It doesn't mean she can't learn to overcome it, but there is definitely some authority bullying figure, and we can see that. I mean, Donald Trump, no matter what he does for the country, he is this personality that is very kind of overpowering. And my father is Donald Trump. They're so similar. I know it. I still love him, you know, but when I see them, it's just, I know what it is to have such a dominating personality there. It doesn't make you good or bad. It's just how you express yourself, and we need such dominating personalities as well. Again, I don't want to give any judgment, but definitely here we see a pattern that's possibly repeating from childhood, from a very overpowering father. That's a Presca expression, a self-expression, but because she's so Taurus, she'll be loyal, very loyal, even if she's unhappy. And there is their suppression there. And Saturn makes her hold on to the long term as well, hold on to the bitter end. And you remember what we said, Saturn with Mercury, she should be careful what she speaks, because it will never stay unpunished. She can really be, vilified and suffer from what she says, which we already saw. And she's learned to be quiet as well there. But this is a lady, and look, even her moon is in Capricorn. No matter what time she's born, if she's born on that day, the moon is in another earth sign. Earth signs, remember, is about stability, security. So this is someone who is looking for the more traditional, very feminine. Both Taurus and Capricorn are very feminine sign. She doesn't have any planets in masculine sign except Mars. Everything is in feminine signs, and feminine is receptive. Feminine takes more traditional role. Feminine preserves, nurtures, takes care of things. Feminine energy doesn't want to be in the public eye like Ivanka did, with lots of masculine energy there. Feminine energy wants to be behind, to take care of the family, to preserve the family wealth, to take care of the needs of the family. And emotionally, she might be quite repressed as well, because the moon in Capricorn, these people don't express their feelings easily. Doesn't mean they don't feel, means that they outwardly, emotionally, they're more like very protective and don't express easily. And for her, status is extremely important. Moon in Capricorn, status and respect. But is she fully happy? With this Saturn, it's very hard to be fully happy. Yeah, maybe in her 50s, 60s. Yeah, Saturn later in age can give better, but Saturn one can deal better with those Saturn complexes there. But again, in a way that is more as a responsibility rather than out of joy and out of happiness to do it. So you see how should definitely not be out there on the stage much, how should be much more focused on earthy things, on preserving, on creating stability, on enjoying the luxuries of life, but she'll be very loyal as well. Wait a second, let me come back to you guys. Oh, maybe, I wanted to show you why Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump have such a almost incestual relationships. They really love each other. Look at Ivanka Trump, Venus, the planet of love, and Neptune, the planet of idealization. And the moon is in Sagittarius, and Donald Trump's moon is in Sagittarius, exactly almost on the same degree. If you look at this, the moon is emotionally who you feel connected to. And both Ivanka's Venus, the planet of love, is on Trump's sun, and Neptune. So he would almost idealize her like a glamorous, beautiful woman. She would be his ideal of a beautiful woman, because the moon is what you feel emotionally you need and what you love, and you feel kind of very receptive towards. So Trump will feel very receptive towards her beauty, towards her Venus as a woman, towards an idealized her. Neptune is there as well. And it will go both ways. So there's Venus moon conjunctions from one horoscope to another, guys, create very strong love between two people. And her moon is also there in Sagittarius. So emotionally, they have similar emotional needs. And that's why there is so much understanding between the two of them. This conjunction on its own, her Venus on his moon, can create such strong love. But what about Melania and Trump? Well, first of all, Trump likes his women, Venus conjunct Saturn in Cancer, more domesticated. If it's a wife, Venus shows the wife, not the daughter. But his Venus is in Cancer, family sign, domesticated. In Saturn, reserved, in control, don't show everything, very loyal, very supportive, maybe even a bit cool. Maybe he's choosing women that are a bit cool, and distant, and always with age difference. Saturn always gives age difference of at least 7 years with the women in his life. But he'd like them in more traditional, more respectable roles, more in control, not to be, his wife in particular. Venus is the wife. And maybe that's why there's such a big backlash from women towards him, because women naturally signified by Venus, and Saturn conjunct Venus, he puts women in more traditional Saturnian restricted roles, and liberated women like go super upset about that. Of course they would. But he has very macho horoscope, Mars in the ascendant, Sun in masculine sign, Moon in masculine sign. Everything for him is in masculine sign, which is like macho, strong. But his Venus, the planet of women and marriage is in a feminine sign, very suppressed by Saturn. So it comes up in his personal life. He's very macho, but the women in his life, they need to be in more traditional roles, and that's what he thinks it's acceptable and good, and obviously this is the role that Melania plays. But otherwise he's all fire and all masculine signs, while Melania is all feminine signs. And if you've taken my course on compatibility, which is like 40 hours course on compatibility, even without knowing any astrology, you'll see how I teach that sometimes people that are like horoscopes that are very extreme, like in Melania, all feminine sign, or in Donald Trump, all mostly masculine signs, very masculine chart, how such a person would need someone with the opposite polarity exactly. So he's very masculine charged, lots of masculine signs, ascendant, sun, moon, Mars, is everything in masculine signs, Jupiter. He would need someone that has lots of femininity. Otherwise, plus and plus reject each other. A very strong woman, a very powerful or masculine or driven woman. It's just, there is clash, you can't do both. And Melania's people with very feminine horoscopes, even if Melania was a man, say this is a horoscope of a man, and he has mostly the most important planets in earth or water signs, which are feminine signs, he would attract a woman that has a lot of fire and air, masculine signs. So there is balance there. So obviously, see, she's the introverted, he's the extroverted, they fill each other in, but I don't see many conjunctions between their planets. So I don't see as much affection there. I don't see big kind of conjunctions like he has with his daughter, his moon, on his daughter's Venus. That's like strong love. But with his wife, he doesn't. I don't see that. I don't see so many conjunctions, and conjunctions are so important, or at least oppositions, to trigger deep affectionate bonding and connection between people. And if you come on my webinar about soulmate astrology on the 12th of, look how I'm trying to market you here, but why not? If you come, you'll see, just a second, I just wanna put the video so you can see me, guys. Oh. So on the 12th of February, I'm making a soulmate, how to learn to do soulmate compatibility, which is not based on birth charts only. It's based on the soulmate chart, the 9-divisional chart, but you need to know the time of birth of both people to find the 9-divisional chart. And we don't know Melania's chart, so to be able to tell you if there is like this deep bonding, which is seen only from the 9-divisional chart of one person to another. Like I'll teach you, you don't need to know any astrology to be on this webinar, guys. I'll walk you through everything and explain you why it is like that and what it means. But just looking at the normal charts of the two people, I don't see many conjunctions between him and her. They kind of energetically complete each other. She's very feminine, he's very masculine. She does the traditional role, like we said, with all those feminine signs, and Saturn very strong, so Saturn wants to be the traditional, and he wants a woman who needs to be traditional, because also he's very masculine there in his horoscope. Only his feminine planet Venus is in a feminine sign and traditional sign, so she fulfills that role for him. While he fulfills the role of a leader and this authority figure that she has indicated in her chart very strongly, someone kind of. But is she happy fully? Are they fully in love? I could say if I had her time of birth, if there is a soulmate connection, but just by looking at the charts, I don't see so much. I think they're capable of having long time periods apart from each other without missing each other. I don't see, we need those conjunctions to see people like very emotionally connected and needing each other all the time. But they balance each other energetically well. And the other thing that I see, if you've taken my course on relationships, is that his moon, there is a technique which is called respect. When the male's moon comes before the female's moon, the energy flows from the male to the female. Whoever moons comes before the first one. So in the case of them, Trump's moon is in Sagittarius, Melania's moon is in Capricorn. So Capricorn comes after Sagittarius. And it means that he's the initiator. The energy flows from him to her. So definitely he's the initiator. He's the boss. He comes up first with the ideas. With the next step, he tells her what to do usually. You know, but actually that's good for them. If it was reversed, then the woman is ready for the next step of the relationship and has to wait for the man to make up his mind. And she feels unappreciated, that he's not ready for her. But here we see he's the boss. Whatever he says, this happens. And the energy flows from him to her. So he's the one who says what's happening. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. You see, we didn't go to political. I don't know, maybe I did. But you saw insight into the personality of those two ladies, those two beautiful women, how they express their femininity and their feminine power in extremely different ways. Melania in a very traditional, in a very preserving, loyal way, in a very beautiful and kind of a bit suppressed way as well. Taurus, because of Saturn there. While Ivanka expresses her femininity and her power in a very Sagittarius masculine way, in a very open-minded, progressive, initiative way, you know. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that one, and I hope you enjoyed learning astrology, guys. This is why I'm doing those things, because you can see how easy astrology can be to delve into the soul and the needs of a person to understand someone. Thank you so much. I love you. Check out my courses, and hope you're enjoying the other astrologers and psychics. I like doing more such kind of videos rather than predictive videos, guys, because the predictive videos, they're for a week or for a month, and the other videos, they're so much, you know, you can watch them forever and you can learn forever from them. I prefer that, definitely. So I hope I'll be doing more of those videos for you, and I hope you're enjoying that. And let me just read some of the comments, what you're saying. I don't know. If you're nasty, guys, towards me, I'm not going to answer. I can't tolerate criticism. I'm kidding. I don't know how to see it. Opening a new window. Interesting analysis. Okay. Oh, good. You're nice to me. Thank you, guys. I have Sun opposition Saturn, wide one, so I'm very sensitive to criticism, you know. Like Melania has Sun Conjunct Saturn. My God, if you she probably locks herself and cries at home. Okay. Oh, thank you. So nice. Thank you, guys. I'm glad that you're not cussing me, and you're not. If I made some of you unhappy, forgive me. I really don't want to hurt anyone. And if I've hurt anyone with previous comments or opinions, sorry. If anything, I want to be everyone's friend, and I want to please everyone. But I just want to also give an impartial astrology analysis. So thank you so much for taking from your time on a Saturday to join me. And next time I'll wash my hair. Sorry. But I'm like Aries. Mars is in Aries now, and immediately when it entered, I was like, okay, I have to do something. I was restless all night yesterday, and I said, we're gonna speak about Melania and Ivanka. So thank you, guys, and write to me what other topics you want to hear, what other people you want to hear about, not only about current topics, but about generally astrology. And on the 3rd, by the way, we have a free webinar, a free conversation on the 3rd of February with an ancient astrologer who's going to talk to us about the astrological cultural epochs. So we'll go back in history, we'll see what astrological epoch we're now towards the end of the age of Pisces and what it means. And we're entering a mini Mars period. She'll talk about that, which is going to be quite military period. And according to very ancient astrological techniques. So that will be interesting. Thank you so much. And then on around the 7th, 8th, we'll have another free reading. Not reading, but conversation with Diana. She's a psychologist, a professional psychologist and astrologer as well. We're going to speak how to handle difficult transits from Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. She did already one video about Saturn, how to deal with difficult Saturn transits, how to overcome them, rituals and specific activities to do to help you through. Very, very clever information. So I can't wait for her Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto advice. Thank you, and I will see you very soon. I'm releasing in a little bit my weekly video. Bye, guys.